Hello and welcome back to the Fox Strength and Performance YouTube channel. I am Taylor Fox, and what you just saw was a result of my competition at Battle of the Bridge 4, also Strongman Corp Northeast Regionals. And this was the last heavy session that I did for that specific event. So, kind of backlogged on content here. Haven't really released a video in a while since returning from Northern Ireland. But I'm going to make some more stuff about that later. But I wanted to start getting some footage out again and really, just kind of show my prep leading up to that competition. So my result in the comp was 17 reps at 820. We got there, and I think it ended up being more like a 20-inch pick than what was advertised on the rules is like 19 inches, and I think I actually measured this to be 18, but that's just what it came out to when I stacked the stall mats up and put the frame on top of it. And I didn't have another 4 set of stall mat squares to put here, and the reason I brought the frame into Power Build in the first place was to avoid using plates. So it was like, I'm not using rubber plates. I want to use the stall mats because I feel like it's more realistic to the frame, like the way it's going to be when I get to a bridge. So I wanted to do that. I didn't feel like it was going to be that big a deal, and it seems like a lot of other people were doing kind of the same thing, like trying to make sure they could get the weight, like it being more of like a high trap bar, which like I always felt like if you pull at the high handles on the rogue trap bar, I felt like that was a pretty high trap bar deadlift. And then even that, I had to stack up on 2 mats to get it up to like 18, 19 inches. So it's interesting how high of a pick this was. I think most guys agreed that we should have done something more near the 1,000, but also for the balance of the show, to do the press max event and then a yoke sprint and then go into a high rep event to then lead into a max distance sandbag carry. It all balanced out really well, and like Josh organized like an amazing competition. Like I can't give enough credit, and then to have to do America's Strongest Man for 80 and 90 kilo after, it was crazy. But I would have enjoyed like to go a little bit heavier, like in a vacuum, like just doing this event. But for the whole competition, I felt like it fit in well. But this is going to be my big one. I actually went a little above comp weight here, going up to like 844. It might measure more like 40, depending on how everything weighs out. Kind of goofy weights that I have with the frame itself, but then everything else is calibrated that's on it. And I was happy with the result here. It didn't feel amazing, but I was like, let's just get some reps. So just continue to push it and lock it out, and finish strong here with 5 reps, which I felt was good for the day. A main thing of like avoiding injury and also getting a good result, like that was easy. Like I definitely had some more reps in the tank, and that's kind of what I wanted. Like I'd been drilling a lot of work capacity, so I was like, let's just get some reps in on the higher weight. Interestingly enough, like feel good with that, and then I come over to the reverse hyper, and I'd really been trying to hammer these, like going for like mid 4s, then up to 500 pounds, and then I ended up going up to 550, and just like hitting or really heavy reverse hypers, I felt like has been great for my back and being committed to doing it on a consistent basis. This wasn't heavy. This was like 3 or 4 plates aside, and just at the dismount here, I guess I was like in a rush and wanted to get off of it quick or wanted to get to the next set. I've never had the backswing hit one of my knees, and it did. Like felt that hyperextension. I was like, oh boy, and kind of just had to stood there for a while and gather myself. In true meathead fashion, I just walk off and like onto the next set. And the reverse hypers felt fine, and everything kind of felt fine after this. And in the coming days. Honestly, the only problem that I've had from that is like if one of my dogs, given I have two Malinois, like one runs into my left knee, that's when I feel the similar discomfort that I felt during that. But otherwise, I really haven't had any problems with it. So now, kind of just chilling after the competition and trying to recoup and let my body heal up. A lot more stretching and like some different like DNF exercises and joint moves. Get everything like in a good state again. So it hasn't really been too much of a concern, along with like everything else that I have. But I did make sure to get off the reverse hyper a little bit better and hop back for these other sets. But yeah, just specifically about like training this, like some people are always skeptical. Obviously, anybody with a West Side background, like or listening to Louis, like Louis loves it. Like going super heavy, like you need to go over 50% of your deadlift. My thing has always been like here, either having access to one or just wanting to push the weight. Like the Rogue one, even though it's overbuilt, moves around a lot. You can see it shaking and wobbling. But I felt like the more locked in I was with the technique, that happens less because people that are way lighter than me will complain that it wobbles with 3 plates, and like I've gotten to where it could be, pretty minimal with 550. And just continuing to push that weight and periodize it correctly to be heavier going in the show, I just feel like blew up my lower back strength, glute strength, and you're getting like the hamstring extension mechanism like in that like long lever arm mechanism. So great movement if you can commit to it, and it's very uncomfortable in the moment. And then given that I don't really need too much like upper back volume, but I would never really push the weight so much on the chest supported row, so I really tried to do that a little bit more this block. So I kind of was just trying to find my like top end 8 to 10. So getting 6 plates on here for this session was the most I had done for this block, and that felt pretty good. And I was happy with it. So, and I only really needed to get one set in. I think I would go 2 plates, 4 plates, 6 plates, and just call it a day and move on to the inverse leg curl. And I always kind of wanted to tap out. Like if I do any lower back extension, reverse hypers, 45-degree raise, I get that back pump and kind of just want to be done. But this was taken, I guess, when I finished deadlifts. So I went to the reverse hyper, and then it opened up, and I was like, well, I might as well just do it. So continuing to get these hamstrings working harder, getting the posterior chain stronger, really, again, has added a lot of benefit. More where I need to find like the key and make more progress is my upper body strength. But I think I can continue to progress, and if either I do a competition with a normal deadlift or just want to kind of push it in the gym on my own to set a PR, I think I definitely have that coming in the near future, and that's something I definitely want to shoot for. But until then, I'm just going to keep, pushing hard. I'm going to get out some more content related to training for this competition, and then we'll move on to some new stuff after that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, keep lifting those heavy weights and hold strong.